Hello, my name is Sebbi and welcome back to the coffee break in Minecraft. Today is Wednesday, October 19th, 2022. Today will be the first session of my lecture. This is going to be interesting. This is going to be very interesting. Before I will tell you more about the upcoming lecture and the lessons learned during my long run yesterday, I have to feed the cat. This time I got a salmon. I got a salmon for you, cat. Are you also enjoying salmon, or are you only interested in cod? Also, are you... here you are. Have a salmon. Okay? Or do you prefer cod? Well, slight purr. Just... okay. Cat starts to purr more. I guess salmon is good. Salmon is approved. Okay, let's store the salmon. Let's store the Nautilus shell. The ender pearl. Yeah, I think that's all I can store here. The rest has to be stored in the cabin and storage building. So let's quickly check the park if everything is in good shape. Yeah, everything seems to be fine. So we can officially start this episode by heading over to the cabin and the storage building to store away all this miscellaneous stuff that has accumulated last time. Today, first session of lecture. That's always interesting. In the first session, besides presenting the general topics and contents and workflows of the course, the goals and the objectives for the project the students must complete. And yeah, that's always interesting because you sometimes only see half of the students again after having done this. Often there's a quite significant drop in the number of students, so I'm excited to see how many students will never show up again after the first session. We'll see. Where do I... ooh, I have a full stack of salmon. Okay, maybe I'm not required to do that much fishing. I'm not quite sure where I store the leather. Am I out of leather? I'm really confused. Maybe I need to check the other chests again in the storage building. Why am I storing the leather in the... no. I'm not storing the leather in the... ah, here am I storing the leather. Okay. Great. Okay, everything is stored away. I got a full stack of black wool, which I can place at the cat monument to make progress with it. Then we will shear some more sheep, I guess. Oh, okay. One chicken hatched. Interesting. Okay. Maybe I should have been not that careless with the eggs. But oh well. Got a new chicken. Yeah, so first session of the lecture. It's going to be interesting. In general, it's going to be interesting how this entire winter term will evolve. We start with in-person teaching, right on premise. So that's going to be interesting. we'll see how long this lasts, or if we get back to online teaching soonish. I would have preferred to just stick with online teaching because I really prefer it. I feel online teaching is so much better. Of course, when discussing the projects of the students, in-person teaching is better. That's for sure. And I think that this would be basically my personal approach. I would do all those inputs, all those theoretical sessions online, and all the feedback, all the practical stuff in person. But unfortunately, I'm not the one to choose. I just have to follow orders. Yeah, it's in person. So right after this recording, right after having finished the recording of this episode, I'll get to the university, to my office, and yeah, then do some teaching. It's going to be interesting. So yeah, yesterday was long run. Worked out with the weather. Ooh, speaking of the weather, I don't know what to say anymore about this. I was promised some sunny, dry days. I hoped for things to finally dry off, but it's basically the opposite. So when I look out of my window right now, I just see fog. It's super wet outdoors. When there's no rain predicted, when there's no shower inside, it still manages to rain. That was the case yesterday. Wow, we had really a strong shower of rain, heavy shower of rain. And yeah, it's just wet. It's wet. It starts to become muddy again, as always. And the humidity is like in a rainforest or something like this. It got warmer, so it's really comfortable temperature-wise. It even, well, inside of my apartment, it just got warmer again, so I'm back to 19 degrees Celsius inside, even without heating or anything. It's just because it got warmer outdoors again, so that's also nice. But yeah, the humidity, it's, as I said, with all this rain, with all this fog, it's all, I don't know where the water is coming from. It's insane. We never had this before, at least not during the times I lived here, because I never use the heater in my kitchen. I rarely close the window in the kitchen, only when it's really winter and we have temperatures below freezing. But normally it's just window open, and yeah, everything is fine in the kitchen basically. But these days, even the salt in my little salt container starts to become a solid brick because the salt is getting wet. I mean, there's so much humidity. This is insane. This is just saying that my normal salt I use for seasoning my dishes is turning into a big brick. This is so insane what's going on these days. And yeah, even today, as I was out on my morning run, was a very easy 10K run. All the leaves that came down from the trees are just basically a thick layer of wet mud on the ground, as apparently no one seems to care about taking a big brush or something to push it away. No, we just let it pile up on the why Enderman, just why? We just let it pile up on the walkways. Oh man, it's gross, and it's back to the usual winter business, more or less. Getting back home, looking down your legs, thinking, okay, I have to step right into the shower to rinse my legs off because they are covered in mud. And this even when doing just an easy 10k, not something quick where it's really getting splashy. So, wait, what? Sun is already setting? No. I haven't started to discuss all the lessons learned. So yeah, I don't know what's going on with the weather. It's annoying. I'm really sick of this climate in this region. Oh, well, can't do something about it. Yeah, lessons learned. Yesterday I did my planned 36k long run at a little bit faster than marathon pace. In the end, it turned out to be 37.5k at marathon pace. I'll come to this in just a second. Yeah, the run itself was good, was really great. I did what I planned, so I ran the first 10k at 4:10 pace, and then tried to slow down to 4:12, which did not work out that well. I often was a little bit faster than 4:12, which was also interesting. It started to... It felt easier to reduce a little bit the pace, a tiny bit. But then I just kept on at my fast pace, which was in the end pretty good. I was really confident, felt really good running. Was not too... Yeah, it wasn't really that much demanding or so. So it was really good run. Everything worked out according to plan. I also tried out some gels. Here things are getting a little bit more problematic. So I never used the brands I tried because I don't really like the brand I used before as energy gel. So I wanted to try out something new. I got some recommendations what are good. And I think I ordered from 2 different brands. One brand that is also frequently used in from other marathon runners. I think that this is the one I really prefer. I have to do some more long runs to really get a good feeling for it. I think they are alright. They are good. The other one I got recommended from an ultra runner I know. I think they're ideal for ultra running, and I felt they tasted the best. They were really amazing. It was like some kind of fruity, almost like a yogurt pudding something taste. This was perfect. The taste itself was great, but it was a taste I did not anticipate it, and that was not really fitting, at least to me, to a faster, longish run. And yeah, the more red fruity gel was alright. Then I tried one of these marathon gels, let's call it that way. This was perfect. I noticed nothing with it. Then I tried another one of the ultra running gels, so I don't know how to call them. I think this was the end of me. So that one, it tasted still good, but I really noticed it in my stomach right away. And yeah, I think my system was not used to... I think this could also be a thing, so definitely need to do some... I need to use some gels during the next long runs to really get used to consume them. Was not feeling well, and even after the run, as I got home, I felt somewhat sick for the rest of the day. Not because of the exhaustion or the physical demand or so. There I was completely overwhelmed how well my body handled this. It was just the feeling in my stomach from that one gel. Yeah, it was not good. I think next longish run, I will only use those marathon gels and see how they feel, how I feel taking those, and trying to get used to these, because I have the feeling these pudding-like things are amazing from their taste, but I would rather consume them maybe for a longish bike ride or something like this. Or, yeah, I don't think that I will do an ultra marathon soon, but for these things, yeah, that's basically one thing learned. Gel. On the one hand, need to get used to gels. On the other hand, this type of gel seems not to work for me. So, yeah, that not good. Not good, basically. Next big lesson learned. When you do calculations, or when, I mean, I had this pace strategy talk here in the coffee break. When you do those things, do some more calculations, what it means, well, what pace you can run at kilometer 37 when you keep up that pace until this point. What pace can you run at kilometer 40 when you keep up that pace? Whatever. Do calculations ahead of time, because I did it after my long run and I really regretted it. Basically, I did my 36k run. I felt really good. I felt really amazing. So I thought, maybe today is the day. Maybe I can complete the run. Maybe I can complete the marathon. Get over with it, achieve my personal goal, be happy. But since I wasn't sure what paces I can run, I was not sure what to do. And so I just kept on going. It might have been also in conjunction with one of those typical GPS issues that there are a few spots on my usual running track where I know for some reason GPS is indicating a slower time when I run through there, and then for the next kilometer I'm all of a sudden much faster, because then GPS realizes, okay, this guy's further than I assumed he was. So I'm not quite sure. I think it's something thanks to the big trees at some point, or maybe a bridge, or I'm not sure what exactly is causing it. It's completely arbitrary, it feels. Anyways, it might have been also thanks to such a GPS shenanigan, but kilometer 37 was a 4:29, and I did not feel like slowing down by, let's say, 15 seconds. It did not felt like this, but on the other hand, I mean, after having run 37 or rather 38k, because there was 1k until I started my marathon, so 1k warm up, and then the real attempt started. So after having run 38k, your legs still start to become a little bit tired, and I wasn't sure. And so I thought, with this 29, things are screwed, because I wasn't aware what time can I run. And later I just created a table of the times I can run, and it turned out even with this 4:29, I could have continued all the way to the full marathon at 4:29, and I would have still been under 3 hours. On the one hand, this really gave me confidence that, hey, I'm in the shape, I can do this, I just have to complete the last 5k. On the other hand, it made me really angry. Well, not angry, disappointed, I don't know, something. I was thinking, what, really? Oh, good. But in this very moment, as I saw this 4:29, I continued for 500 meters. And then, yeah, it's just the mind. It's really the mind. The mindset. If you now continue on, you will end up with a 3 hours 1 minute time or something like that. And so yeah, I switched to walking. And if I knew that, okay, I was still on the right track, I was still in pace, I was still in perfect shape, I think I would have had a completely different mental state in this moment. I would have ignored this 429. But oh well, lesson learned. Lesson learned. And I mean, it shows even more how, I mean, now I feel even more determined, even more, I want to do this. I want to complete this sub 3 hour marathon. I am in the shape, I can do this. Just have to keep strong mentally. Yeah, that another lesson learned. Another interesting lesson learned, what I really was surprised about, I also downloaded a playlist of some motivational speakers I find quite interesting to listen to. I noticed when doing burpees and listening to them, my performance increases. So I thought, hey, as some kind of additional boost, I could listen to these guys doing the last 10k or so. I tried this, and surprisingly it did not work out the way I hoped. So I think the main issues were, on the one hand, you are already mentally focusing on your running, but I think the bigger problem is, oh no, these guys. The bigger problem is there's too much going on. There's too much going on while running. There are the wind noises in your ears, so that's covering some of the talking of the speakers. There's you hear your footsteps, car noises, other noises. It's basically noisy, and this makes it super hard to actually hear all the important details that in the end motivate you. I tried this today, this morning in my 10k run. I listened to them again, and even there, when I'm not completely absorbed by the running itself, because it's super easy, just running along, it had not the desired effect. So this was surprising, but also good to know. Yeah, those were the big lessons learned. Another big lesson learned is, since I will do my marathon on the track where I'm training on, I need to add loops to increase the distance, because the biggest loop I can do here that is good for marathon running is a 30k loop, which means I need 12.2k more. I can of course complete the 30k and then turn around and run another 6k in the one direction, turn around and come back or so. But the first 6k of this run I see, not every day, but too many times. I know of every stupid incline, I know of every stupid crack in the ground. And since these parts are also the closest one to the city, they are also the crowded ones. As I was at kilometer 37 yesterday, and I was thinking about, okay, I need to get there, then I need to turn around, because I added a loop, but an additional loop to the run. But the loop was not long enough to really make it like when I get back home, I'm at marathon distance. This also was adding to my frustration of, oh no, I'm at 429 and I still have to turn around and I have to run the same track over again. I have to add a loop earlier on. That's another lesson learned. And yeah, so basically, to sum things up, I'm really, really amazed how well my body handled that physical demand. Since I added this additional loop for, as I thought, hey, you can maybe do the full marathon. And with the warm-up and so on, in total I covered a distance of 40 kilometers yesterday. And I covered these 40 kilometers in 3 hours, 1 minute. So even with walking home, because I don't want to run anymore, as I thought, okay, that's it, I made 40k in 3 hours. So this shows how good I was. I also did this with my running backpack, so this is another thing. I feel a little bit sore on the right-hand side of my chest, because on the right-hand side there was the water bottle. I had 500 milliliter of water with me. This was sufficient. This was completely fine. As I got back home after breakfast and a normal glass of water, I felt completely rehydrated. So it was not that I was dehydrated or anything like this. I felt fine for the rest of the day. Well, besides the effect of that gel, this was bad. But yeah, I had this 500 milliliter water bottle on more of the right-hand side of my body. And this also, I mean, I feel this, that this side of the body is a little bit tired or so from carrying this additional weight. And yeah, this is another thing. I did those 37k at marathon pace with a stupid backpack, which it does not really constrain me in my breathing, but I notice it. And I still did this, so I really feel in good shape. My legs aren't really tired. In fact, after this 10k run in the morning, they feel even better than before. So yeah, and I feel really like determined, angry, mad, something. I also feel mad at the stupid Enderman stealing my gravel. That I did not finish it yesterday, and that I really want to finish it now. So yeah, it gave me a good motivational boost what happened yesterday. And yeah, I'm quite sure there are more lessons learned, but we are running out of time. So I hope you enjoyed this episode and hope you will be joining me next time. Until then, my name is Sebbi. See you!